Dexter McCoy was elected Fort Bend County Commissioner for Precinct 4 late last year. Jumped in feet first on a number of projects. This is one you're looking at here now with former Congressman Pete Olson and others to clean up the final resting places for Fort Bend County slaves. But there's much more on his plate. I want to talk about a few of them this morning. Commissioner McCoy, thank you. Good to see you this morning.
Good to be here.
That was one issue. I saw a lot of people coming out, and that was in the area. Is that cemetery in the area of Kendleton?
It is. It is right on the far edge of the county.
That's the beginning of what is going to be a bigger issue in terms of a monument or something like that?
Yeah, so we are going to we made an initial $4 million investment in erecting a 36-acre memorial that will honor those folks who are buried. They're buried in that. So one of those cemeteries is the first black state representative in the state of Texas, and his family. It's the first black sheriff. He and his family are buried there, and other folks. The 6 families that founded a town that still is existing and thriving today. We've got to pay homage to them and the huge legacy they left behind for us. Also, we'll talk there about the history of convict leasing and labor in our community, as well as lynching. But it won't be just that. Mm-hmm. Also, they'll be talking about celebration of freedom. Some of the earlier celebrations of Juneteenth happen in this town of Kendleton, and there will be a special Juneteenth plaza there where folks can come and celebrate and reflect.
So is that on paper now, or is that paid for? Is it toward it's going to be happening?
Yes. So we're finalizing the design schematics right now, and we hope to break ground later this year.
Fort Bend County, a lot of people might not understand how much rural area there is, and broadband can be a problem for some of the folks. That's a big issue for you, is it not?
Huge. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. All in all, what we've been focused on is how do we restore human dignity, the dignity of those who came before us and those who are still living here today. Part of that is making sure people have the ability to engage in our society. You can't do that without access to the internet. There are numerous communities, even in some of our more well-developed areas, where they don't have access to broadband. If you could believe it, we did a study that found that there was a need for another $36.8 million of investment in broadband. In the area of Fulshire, there was one street that didn't have broadband connectivity, and I'm sure you can guess what the demographics of that street look like, but there are pockets of that all over the community in Kendleton, Beasley, Fulshire, Simonton, Thompsons. And so right now we are going through a process of getting folks to invest in that with us.
Is there some federal money available, county, state?
There is about $65 billion from the Biden administration was approved earlier this year. And so we're hoping that some of that money will flow down to our community. What we've learned, I recently got back from the National Association of Counties Conference and talked to some other folks. That money is likely to go directly to private providers. And so we hope that we have good, strong people who will come and invest and offer affordable options for income-constrained households.
One thing that people don't often think about when you think of Fort Bend County is homelessness.
Oh, yeah.
I know if you're in the city of Houston, it doesn't take much to find video or you see people on the streets that are homeless. Mm-hmm. But you say that these kind of images that may be in other places are also here in this area in Fort Bend as well.
Absolutely. It's a hidden issue of homelessness when you get into suburban communities. In Fort Bend County, based on a UT study that was done a few years back, at any given year, there are between 6,000 and 9,000 homeless people in our community. That might not look like folks under bridges and on the side of streets like we see in our more densely populated areas like the city of Houston, but it's folks who are couch surfing from family and friends' homes. It's people who are living in their cars. When I worked in Fort Bend ISD, I heard this story about a student who was actually sleeping in his car and coming to school every day. Mm-hmm. Luckily, we were able to get him some help through Parks Youth Ranch, but we need to make sure that we're investing in it. That's why I'm so proud that last month we announced an initial $2.5 million investment in developing a resource center, because what we lack is services for these folks who find themselves without stable housing, and we hope to give another several $1 million of that from federal funding.
You're doing a lot so far.
Yeah.
This is your first elected office, correct?
It is.
So how is the reality compared to what you imagined it would be in terms of the joy you get from the job you're doing?
Well, luckily I'm not new to government. While I'm new to elected office, I worked in the Obama administration and was chief of staff to the county judge before this. I think the difference is I have a lot of interest in moving some work forward, but we're constrained in our resources and to be able to solve that. That's why partnerships are important. This affordable housing resource center that we're building, it was developed in partnership with a collaboration between nonprofit organizations. We are working with the private industry to infuse investments in our community. That's how we get stuff done. Right. And that's what I'm thrilled and enthusiastic about bringing.
Well, I'm excited about what you're doing. Hopefully you'll come back when you got more stuff to talk about. I know we could do it in a half hour, probably. Couldn't we hear? Commissioner McCoy. Full disclosure, Commissioner McCoy happens to be my commissioner in Fort Bend.
That's it.
Just the way it happens.
So you'll tell me when I'm not doing a good job.
I'll say, you want my vote?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you for what you're doing.